Well, hello there. Looney Farm Guy here with a new mod for Friday, March 25th, and it's a doozy. A doozy of a Deere. We got a new tractor package. Well, new old? Well, from SiiD Modding. This is the John Deere 9020 and 9030 series by SiiD Modding. 41.33 megabytes to download. And slots, yes. 17 slots for the 9120 and 18 slots for the 9230 only. Yes, a John Deere, a big John Deere, that does not surpass 20 slots. That's a feat in itself, I would imagine, considering the track record of these things. So now, there's quite a bit to go through, and I've had them working in the field, and there's a couple of interesting things that I've discovered or found. So, first of all, large tractors, that's where you'll find them. And near the end, here we go. So the John Deere 9X20 and the 9X30, $109.99 to start with that one, and $159.99 for the 9X30. So we'll start with the 9X20. Let's take a look at the numbers. 280 to 500 horsepower. It has the power shift transmission that works very well. 1,022 liters of fuel at 24 miles per hour, 19.1 tons, and of course the 17 slots on console. Now we have a few options. As you can see, the plain version is quite plain. I don't think anyone's going to choose this version to do anything, except perhaps if they don't want to crush any crop when they're... Anyways, rock box, no or yes. And that's it. So we'll keep it at yes. Silver pipe, we have some pipe options, just color and which way it points and stuff like that. No extra charges for that. Now, vintage configurations. You have the 2000 to 2005 version, which this is, and you have the 2006 to 07, which adds $15,000 and some lights on the top, as far as I can. Some signal light changes. I would avoid this option if I were you. Just saying. Attachers. Standard is, well, the standard pin hitch type attachment. We have a PTO for $4,500 and a 3-point that's going to add almost 11 grand. So that might be something you look at. PTO, I would, if you're pulling big stuff with it, you could just avoid all of those and add them later if you wish. The Green Star, no one uses on console. Engine setup. So we start at 280 horsepower, which is pretty skinny. Kind of limits what you can do with this. Goes up to 325 for extra 10 grand, 375 for 20 grand, 425 for 29, 450 for 39.6, and the maximum horsepower, 500 horsepower at $58,000 to be added to the price, and then back down. So the 9620 is the one with the 500 horsepower. That's what we're going to be testing. Beacon lights, 1, 2, or none. Version is a standard. You have the US version that adds those signal lights, warning lights on the side for $200, and the standard Aussie version, which puts the oversized warning on the front, and then the Aussie extended version with the lights, the EU version, and back to standard. So the only thing that adds is the $200 for the most part for any of those. And wheels. Now, here we get into a plethora of options for this one. And I'll just kind of quickly go through because they add weights, twin wheels with the weights, triples with the weights. Then you go into those options with the bigger tires, and then the bigger tires, wides and twins, and then back. So that's kind of going through those options and the license plate. Okay. Let's pick this one with the rock box because I want to see if you can put anything in it. Now, the 9X30. This starts off with a little bit more horsepower, and you have the weight holder with up to 1,200 kilograms of weight or a rock box. I chose the weight on my test vehicles. Now you have wheel brands, Michelin or Lizard. Let's start with Lizard because you get these big LSWs, which are awesome, in with or without the rear weight. And that's the only option with the Lizard LSWs. Now, if we go back up to Michelin, it's just Lizard Michelin. And then with Michelin, of course, we have all those options that we had with the other model. And I'm just going to go zip right through them because there's a lot of them. And there we go. Back to the beginning. Attachers, same options. Attachers. Oh, this one, PT. Yeah, PTO 3-point. $10,999 if you want an attacher. Was there charge? Oh yeah, there's all kinds of money, different kinds of charges for wheels and wheels setup and so forth. We'll leave that. Oh dear. We'll leave it there. Green Star again. Engine setup now. Here we go. We start at 325. We go up to 375 for an extra 24 grand. 425 for 31,000. 475 for 4,500 and 4,500. 45,600. Sorry. And the top horsepower, 530 horsepower for $78,000 extra dollars. Of course, beacon lights. Again, the US EU versions, extended versions, and so forth. An extra $200 for a few of those. Some of them are no charge. And main color is the tint on the windows. You can go. It's not like the darkest isn't really all that dark. And then license plate. Okay, so I just want to see the rock box unfold. That's the unfold option is if you have those extra side markers. And of course you have opening the driver's door with the L1, R1, and the right stick. Right. I don't see anywhere that the front rock box holds anything. No, it's just there. Now, I might as well talk about the handling while I'm in here right at this moment. So it's quite flexible. It's got some movement, but notice the camera when I turn. The camera doesn't go wildly swinging around. Now that's because the camera is centered on the front half of this, and this is an articulated tractor, and this is the issue that's I've had with these tractors, these style of tractors for a while, is the camera swings wildly from one side to the other. Now, if we go over to here, I will demonstrate with an X9 I also have, and a little demonstration on why this is significant when it concerns these type of tractors and this particular mod in particular. So if we get into the John Deere this 9620, notice how the camera follows the front of the cab, and the front of the cab turns much more sharply when it's turning. Notice that? And so you get that kind of seasickness camera going swinging all the way around when you're turning. Whereas if we jump back into here, it's not so bad because the front of the cab doesn't turn so much, it's the back. So it's wagging its tail, this thing. When it turns, the back end turns much more than the front. And you're still able to turn, but your camera. So if that was done on purpose, or maybe that's how they move, there's much less weight on the back. So when you're turning, it's gonna be it's logical that the back end would swing around. There's the engine on the front, the cab on the front, all the transmission, all the big stuff, all the big heavy stuff is sitting on the front end of this tractor. The fuel tanks, everything. The only thing that's at the back is the differential and the tires, really. So I said to myself, what's the biggest, heaviest thing this thing could be challenged to tow? And since I have the lime mod for Auger wagons, I have filled this 211,435 liters Auger wagon, this mother bin, full of lime. And so forward we shall go. And it actually doesn't do too bad for a 500 horsepower machine. But the problem arises when I try to turn. As you can see, the wheels turn on the mother bin to facilitate the turning. However, because this tractor, the back end turns first, it's trying to pull it right when the wheels on the wheels on the trailer are trying to turn left. You see the problem? Straight, no problem. Right, it's good. So it's nearly impossible to pull this around to turn because of that. Now there's an example of something that's great for anything except and improves the camera control and getting dizzy and seasick and so forth. So if we I'm sorry if I'm spending too much time on this, but it's kind of a significant development with that particular style of turning on this mod. And then we're going to show you in the field where it doesn't really matter. I mean, it works fine with. I just wanted to show this because it was such an odd thing that I just came across. And so you see where the front end is turning, the back end stays relatively stable, and you're able to actually turn well slowly, but it's not fighting the turning of it because the front end is leading the back end instead of the back end turning, and we're going around. So it's not actually like this thing's heavy. This thing's really, really heavy. This is the 600 and something horsepower. All right, enough of that shenanigans. Here we have it, the LSWs with this big, massive Disker rated at 615 horsepower or whatever, and this is only the 525. And as you can see, no problem, 11 miles per hour, zing, right up to that speed. And he's been doing a fantastic job, not missing anything, not stopping or starting or any such shenanigans whatsoever. I also have this guy here. This is the 500 horsepower one. Pulling this 500 horsepower rated cultivator, and same thing, right up to speed, the 9 miles per hour maximum speed, and doing a utterly fantastic job of doing all this. Now, one more thing I want to try, and we're going to do it on this one, and I'll be back in a moment. Oh, right. Yes, I nearly forgot to show lights and stuff like that. And then we'll show you, I've hooked up a little bit of a fast farming experiment. So lights, this is the newer version. Lights a little bit yellow. Yes, yellowish. And signals, left, right. Beacons, no beacons because this one doesn't have beacons. Now this is the older version. Yellowish as well. And signals, yep, signals work. Let's see here. Oh, this guy's got caught a little bit. This guy doesn't have the, he does have the beacons though. There we go. There's your beacons. And the lights, the lights are a little yellow because that's well, period. Correct, really, I guess is what you say, what they say. All right, so here's, we'll start him up. I've got the drawbar on there, and I'll set the worker off on it. And it does all right. It gets it up to about 11 miles per hour. So it's not going to be fantastic pulling something this big when you're fast farm. But it does work. And he does get it up a little bit over top of the speed. So you could increase your speed a little bit. But of course it depends on what you're pulling. And yeah, just so you know, that's what I found out. I know. I really do like it though. So that ends this video. There's quite a lot here to take in and soak up. Of a fair number of options, but not too many that it's overwhelming. And there's, aside from the one door opening, it's nice and simple. And I do like how the camera, how they set up where the camera's not swinging around and bouncing all over the place when you're turning. And that's the John Deere 9020 and 9030 series by SiiD Modding, 41.33 megabytes to download, and 17 and 18 slots respectively on console. I'm Lily Farm Guy, and this is an awesome mod. It is. It's a really nice addition to the John Deere and large tractor family. Just remember, it's only a game. Until next time, bye for now.